So guys, today we're talking about Breeder Zone. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. We have a thank you button, which is brand new. We appreciate it. Let's check this thing out. All right, guys, here we are with Breeder Zone. It's been a while since Max and I have been together, but we're back together for another video on another NFT project that has some pretty interesting aspects. So how you doing, Max?
Doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. It's been busy. Been a crazy summer, but we're back. I know Max has been hitting the bricks on this stuff and has a whole bunch of projects for us. We got some huge announcements for our upcoming videos. Max, you want to tell them what's coming up the next couple weeks?
Sure. So we got a couple cool projects coming up. So as everyone knows in the wax space, there's some really interesting games coming out. There's Nova Rally. There's projects like Olive Land, where each NFT is a square foot of olive land, an olive farm in Cyprus, outside of Turkey. Is pretty amazing.
Cool.
And, other cool projects from the community like Crittercraft and all sorts of interesting things that's coming out. So we've been working and networking with a lot of folks and going to have some of the founders of those games on to discuss a little bit about it. So super excited to have them on.
Right. So we're going to have Sammy Snake on next week. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be an amazing interview, I hope. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. So it'll be awesome. First things first. So let's do some housekeeping, guys. We still have our Crypto Jitsu Discord server. You want to go on there? We have a coin now. We have Jits coin, the Jits coin, where we are using that coin, that token, to auction off NFTs on our upcoming videos as we generate NFTs from the projects. As we talk about projects and they give us NFTs to give away, we're going to use our free Jits coin to auction off those items. So you'll want to be on the Discord server talking, learning about it. There's also a faucet. I'll put a link in the description about the faucet, so you can get a little Jits coins every couple hours. And yeah, there's that. Also, you want to tell them about Tales of the Crypt, Max?
Yeah, so if you have not heard, Tales of the Crypt is an awesome zombie themed project. Super active Discord, lots of fun things that happen in that one, giveaways and games and all sorts of things. I've done a lot of giveaways myself, and Popish and Buna, the two founders of that project, they do a ton of really cool things there. Plus the artwork is just awesome. Yeah. They have a token coming out. They have all sorts of interesting things that are happening. And so it's a great community. And a lot of fun. So definitely check that out as well.
Yeah, and Max and I are both kind of on the team now. So I helped them start the ZOM token. I know Max is you're in charge of. I don't know exactly what you're in charge of, but you're kind of on the team, right?
Yeah, just dabbling a little bit, little giveaways here and there wherever I can fit in.
Yeah, we've been friends with Boone and Pulp since the beginning. When they first got involved, they're BJJ practitioners, and we kind of had something in common. Then they made this really cool collection, and it's just taken off because they're working 24/7. I don't know how they do it, but there's that. Check that out. And then finally, we're going to get to Breeders, a new NFT game coming out. Tell us about Breeders, Max.
So high level, this is a company in Brazil, and they have a history of game development. There's another company they've partnered with that have built a previous game called Sword Legacy Omen. I think it was on Steam. Is that right?
Yep. I got it pulled up right now.
Yep. So they developed past games. They're coming out with this one. Interesting concept. I think it's slated for 2022. So we still have a ways to go with that one. But it's something that we started to look into. They just had a sale for, I guess, some pretty rare things in the game called spirits within something called a dash pack. And that was a pretty sold out pretty quick. It was a whitelisted drop. You had to have had a sticker, which I did. And some interesting things happening with this game. There's kind of two factions. You pick a faction. A lot of staking going on in the game too that we're going to get into in a little bit, but high level, that's kind of what Breeder Zone is all about.
Yeah, it's a one player. It can be a one player game, or it can be PvP. It's going to be a card game. What do they call it? They call it literally, and we'll get into it like Max just said in the white paper. It's a player versus player, or it's a card game dungeon crawler. So you got a little bit of card collection and deck building with dungeon crawling. So sounds interesting, sounds cool. Their Steam game looks fantastic. It's got mostly positive reviews, which is not easy to do on Steam. I can tell you that. And so, yeah, there's some potential here. The story is pretty interesting. The website's great. Can't argue with the website. It looks clean, great graphics. If you go to the story, there's a pretty in-depth story about what's going on. There's a sixth dimension. There's all these bad guys that have jumped in and started breeding people in the wrong way. And I'm not gonna. We don't need to go into the details of the whole story, but basically, you've got two factions now. You know, good. I guess you call them good guys, bad guys. I don't know. We decide what you want to call them, but there's the KnowRunners, right? Who have kind of screwed everything up, and now we have all kinds of different bred type of individuals, and I think that's what you're playing with. Is that right? Are the spirit guys the fighters? There's three types of cards from what I understand.
Yeah. I think it's like Confederates and Dracos or something like that are the two factions, and then
Right.
these spirit cards. I guess they're like a in-game buff. That can
Right.
kind of help the character that you have.
Okay. And before what we're going to do is just jump right into the white paper, kind of go over it. We're going to give you guys our thoughts, our honest thoughts. Yeah, Max, what Max said a little bit ago about it being in 2022 is really important. One of the things we want to do is get you guys the information early on a good project. We're not going to hit them all. They're not going to be all knocked out of the park. But we're going to at least try to get you the information about some decent looking projects that we think are decent as early as possible. So, because that's where you want to be, right? You don't want to be trying to get into our planet now. So today they also added some new graphics. I don't know if any of these buttons are clickable. They're definitely not. But they added the new stake page onto their website. Welcome to Breeders, staking the first multi-token stake platform. That sounds interesting. Stake Breeders NFTs and choose a token that you will be rewarded with. They may have wanted to put in there, but I don't know exactly the details of this stuff, Max, but man, the graphics look fantastic.
Yeah, they definitely put some weight behind the art in this one. Looks like you have up there Essentia. That's going to be the main one. Kind of the typical stuff you see in these projects. Like it's a reward for things you do in the game, like maybe the player versus environment type stuff. You can upgrade, something in the game, weapons or whatever will be used for that. So it looks like there's a lot of different components to this, and really interesting about the staking, about choosing your token. I'd be curious to know what that means. Is that
exactly
different in-game tokens, or are they saying that they're going to reward you with tokens from other games? I really don't know.
Let's see what the white paper says, but from what I read, the Essentia is their main token, and you can stake that, and you'll be able to stake their NFTs as well.
Yeah, so kind of taking through the timeline real quick, just because I have that up, if that's okay. So they just launched in 2021 June. So as of this video, last month.
Yeah.
And they had the website up. They have a Discord as well. They're pretty active in the Discord. This month they had the first sale of the Spirit NFT cards. We'll talk a little bit about that later. There's some hiccups with that. They made a last minute change, so you can take what you will from it. And then August, September, continuing to build on the white paper. October, November, they said possible our planet listing, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't think anyone can predict when that's going to happen because so much is dependent on governance now for staking in our planet.
Right.
And it looks like they're going to do another pack sale. And then early 2022, they're planning to release the beta in January, and then the full game will be launched in August. So, I mean, in the realm of Wax Games, this is a pretty long runway, right? There's a lot of things that can happen between now and August. So could be a good thing, give them plenty of time, and there won't be as many delays, or it could be a bad thing where people kind of have ADD or whatever and move on to another project before getting too deep in.
That's a real thing. And to be honest, I mean, the whole Our Planet listing thing is not really, and it's not their fault, but I don't know how you feel about it, Max, but getting more Ethereum or Aether or whatever it is at this point is not on the top of my list. I mean, I'm still into Our Planet. The lands are now being upgraded, which is really cool. I'm excited for robots. Not so much excited anymore about what kind of packs I can find to get. staked on our planet. Seems like you can buy, you get more out of your money for just buying the elements. But
Yep, no doubt.
I think we're entering a new time in the Wax blockchain when that our planet staking thing kind of goes away. I mean, so many people's cards for so long have been valued based upon whether they were listed on our planet or not. And I think we're pretty much done with that. It'll be interesting to see, on a side note, where Aether goes once the robots are in full effect. I mean, have you heard much on that lately?
No, I think there's a lot of excitement about it. I think land upgrades just came out for our planet, so people are excited about that. But then again, you can't build anything with those minerals. You're just kind of accumulating them and hoping that it's going to be cool later. So I think you're spot on. Community staking, it's just everyone was trying to be on our planet a couple months ago, and now so many new projects are coming out that I think the love is kind of being shared around versus just in one hot project.
Exactly. Well, I'll run down the. Let's run down the. It's really not a very long white paper. We'll run through the pages a little bit at a time. I'll hit some highlights, and Max, you feel free to expand on anything or stop me or anything. Introduction. Like the first thing they say is this document is subject to change, of course, but that's good to remember. So we're not holding them to anything here. This is just their vision. One of the main things they want to do that I really like is they're trying to create a game that's play to earn, which all of us want to do, right? We want to go out and buy some Our Planet elements so we can get our staking up and all that. But what about the people that just want to play the game and don't want to spend a ton of money? They're trying to combine a good game that involves both of those. So I like that. As they state here, it's not the easiest task. So I'll be interested to see how it finally works. I guess Alien Worlds is kind of that model, and until what seems like the wheels have fallen off lately, I think they kind of did okay with it. You could get on Alien Worlds and you get a free shovel and a free guy, and you could start playing. If you wanted to do more, you could buy more tools, but I don't know. It worked for a while for them, but I don't know what's going on right now. You following Alien Worlds anymore?
No, I haven't been on in a while. I think the last time I went on, I got 0.002 TLM and just moved on.
That's actually a lot more than I usually get. I get like 0.00006 or something, and it just it's I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'm going to move on from the introduction unless you got something to say about that.
Nope, let's go.
All right, so same thing. Ecosystem, play to earn ecosystem where you're rewarded through gameplay with our token, the Essentia, which can also be staked. That's pretty cool. But they also have the free to play model they're trying to get involved, or they're trying to integrate into the system. To provide an immersive experience in our universe, we aim to develop PvP battles and single player PvE missions. And so our player may be entertained as long as they want. So that's interesting. When I first read this, I was thinking they were going to have a one player where you play cards, the same game, but it's against the AI. But it sounds like if you're doing a one player free to play type thing, it's going to be missions, which could be different. So, any thoughts?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of games are kind of rolling that out. Our Planet's talked about that too, where you can battle in-game aliens or whatever, and then you can also battle other people, but it's not required. So personally, I like that aspect. I know there's a lot of people who don't necessarily want to put things at risk, fighting other people. They just want to play the game. So I like that component.
Yeah, a little bit of risk. Hopefully, the reward's larger as well. So. Staking in our roadmap, there's plenty of planning for partnership with Our Planet. Again, I don't know how big a deal that is anymore. After the full game development, there'll be 2 staking systems: Essentia token and the Breeder's NFT ownership. So these must be staked to obtain rewards. I don't know what that means. Have you heard what that means?
Nope, okay. I have not.
Yeah, and they have staking rewards represented at the top of the cards. Max, why don't you want to, unless there's a different time, do you want to tell us about your experience buying the cards and what they look like, or did you open the pack, or how all that went right now? Or
yeah, we can get into it real quick. So there was a little bit of hiccup with that first pack sale. So they did I think it was like 10 wax drop to get a whitelist sticker. And so if you had that, then you were able to buy into all their future sales. So I ended up doing that. Came with 2 stickers. You only needed 1 to be whitelisted. I think I sold the other one. And then the pack sale came, and it was for these spirit spirit NFTs that are going to be used in the game as like buffs. They help your character out in some way. I think there was something up with the packs, or there was a worry that there was too many bots. It sold out really quick, so a lot of people were upset. So they ended up changing the process. They were going to have, I think, like 3 weeks where they did packs every week, and instead they shifted the model. And I think maybe there was something with the drop rate as well that was kind of off. I'd have to look back on the Discord, so don't quote me, but there was something off about it. A lot of people were upset, so they ended up changing their model, canceled the rest of their pack sales, and I think they're just doing one more kind of slightly different sale. I believe that's this weekend, so the end of July. And so kind of interesting, with those things, I think it's good and bad depending on how you look at it. It could be good because they're listening to the community and they're making changes right away, but it also could be bad. If you don't have enough like strength with how you planned your game out, that you got to make changes all the time, that's also sometimes kind of like worrisome. So not sure how it all play out, but there were some changes there.
So I'm looking at some of the cards right now.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how these spirit packs, like how they're going to be in the game or how it's all going to roll out. I think it's a lot of things still up in the air, but that seemed to be the main thing, that these were going to be really rare. They kept saying that in the Discord. These packs are going to be really rare, not going to be something that's released a lot, and they're going to offer some sort of in-game like boost to your character.
Cool. So they got different things on the bottom right. Trader, what did I see? I saw a second one a minute ago. Looks like the bottom left is probably the faction, because I only see 2 of those for all the cards. What are these? What are these names at the bottom? What is this guy? This guy is a smuggler. So we've seen smuggler, trader, something different, master. Cool. Wish they were verified, but not everybody gets verified according to Pink GG, the Atomic Assets guys. You kind of got to have a big name behind you to get verified. But they're whitelisted, so that's good. Their packs are still way up there.
Yeah, big economy. Right after the sale, packs were selling for a ton of wax, and then it started kind of diving down. But I still think they're selling for at least like 2 times what they sold for at the drop rate. And that got even more rare because they said, hey, we're not doing these packs anymore. We're going to change the process for the next sale. So, that supply and demand is going to impact that as well.
Right. You can get number 1 for just $6,000 if you
Casual $6,000 just throwing around.
It's a freaking deal. All right. Governance. Before Breeders' Game's full launch, there'll be several events, and amongst the Draco's Confederate Dominated Planet sale, which will be decisive for the governance of the Breeders' universe among players, delivering benefits and profits to the owners. No idea what that means, except that there'll be some things where if you're holding some of the assets, you'll be able to make decisions. Is that about right?
That's right.
Okay, nothing on the Essentia token just yet. We've gone over the roadmap. I heard through the grapevine that, and I don't know if it's been discussed on Discord, that they're going to try to get an alpha version out before the end of the year. Have you heard any whispers on that?
I haven't.
Okay, just a rumor, because they said beta in January, but anyway, we'll see. Multi-utility NFT cards. So I'm really interested in what that means. I haven't been able to quite piece it together in the white paper. They're pieces of art. They have real focus on multi-utility. Each card will have its own abilities during battle and or mining events, except spirits that will grant unique blessings like buffs. So
and those spirits are the dash packs that the sale that just happened, and it's probably not going to happen again, is what they've said a few times.
That's what we were just looking at, was the spirits, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I guess multi-utility would probably mean that your NFTs can do different things within the game. So I'm assuming that's what it's got to be about.
I think so, yeah. And then that kind of leads into that next point where each NFT, different things. One might be used for battling. I think one might be used for like mining. So I think there's just a lot of different uses depending on the NFT that you have.
Yep, there's going to be stats for mining, stats for gaming. Staking cards. We plan to start NFTs. Oh,
This part again, this is something I actually don't like is, I think if you're developing a game, it should stand on its own 2 feet,
yeah,
right? Like it's always a kind of weird if a project's promoting another game too much because it's like, why isn't your game good enough where people just want to play it, right? Like why do they need to find utility in your game by using it in another game? That's the part that I really don't like.
yeah, because it's 100%, 100%, and I like a lot of what I see on this so far, but I don't like that at all because all that does for you as the game owner is, I mean, it makes your cards worth more, but it doesn't help you, right? Because if I have to stake if I'm staking all your game cards, and I don't know how I can't be using them. When you stake them to our planet, they're not in your wallet anymore. I mean, you've given our planet temporary. I forgot the phrase. It's not actual ownership, but you basically shifted ownership over to them, and so you can't use them. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it. Just like you, because I can't be. I'm not playing your game, and all it's doing is helping the values to grow. But like you said, build the game, and the values will grow all on their own.
Definitely.
And on top of it, no one really cared. I mean, the interest in that whole thing is going down right now anyway. So, okay, revolutionary oh, no, I'm sorry, play to earn dungeon crawler deck building game. So, if they pull that off, then it does what it says. It sounds amazing. I don't know, what's weird about that for me, Max, is first of all, dungeon crawler. I mean, I'm all into dungeon crawlers, but this is not the kind of art I would expect for a dungeon crawler. This is like a sci-fi, futuristic game. I don't understand the dungeon crawler thing unless maybe it's a spaceship or something. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. It talks about it a little bit more in depth down on page 9 of it, but it says it's a dungeon crawler deck building and space management hybrid game. So there's like a lot to unpack with that, right? But
Right.
basically, you gather resources, you improve your empire with research and development. So maybe like a way to increase stats from the resources that you get. You choose, your alliance. So that's the Dracos or the Confederates. You can battle people in a turn-based game. So like, there's a lot of interesting things in that second half of that, but like I don't see the dungeon crawler part of that. I see like the turn-based PvP kind of thing makes sense.
Right.
Same with like the gather resources and you use those resources to like build up your team. All of that good and well, but yeah, it should be interesting to see what it ends up actually looking like.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting uh, dungeon crawler use of the word or the phrase. I don't know. Be interesting. I mean, well, let's just move on to some of the key features because there's something I wanted to talk about that might have to do with that. Right here it is. Explore the surface of unknown planets. So they're not having land. They say they're not having land in one in one part of this, but they are. They're selling planets. So you're right. You buy a whole planet, from what I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's right. I think that's right. There's still a lot of unknowns with this, but yeah,
yeah,
it seems like it. And then you can kind of mine on that.
yeah.
You can mine on that land to get Essentia token.
Buy and own your planets. Establish colonies at different places. Build Essentia energy extraction. La la la. You can make profit by selling the NFT items or allowing other breeders to mine on your lands. Yeah, like you just said, there's a lot of key features. We're updating upgrading our headquarters. Exploring unknown planets and encounter new species. Collect a variety of Essentia cores, power-ups, breed your race. This all sounds amazing and fun, but you know what? And I'm not saying anything about this. I hope they pull it off. But what scares me is we've heard this kind of song and dance before where someone presents so many options and we have yet to see anything. So could Breeders be the first game to actually deliver? Let's hope so. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like I'd rather have a game that does a few things super well, right, than kind of like 50 things that are kind of half baked. But if they're able to complete all of this, and you can have land, and other people can come on your land and mine, kind of like Alien Worlds. But then there's also like a research aspect, and there's a staking aspect, and there's a battling aspect. I mean, that would be sounds like pretty expansive. Like it could be a really big thing if they pull it off. So a lot of things to unpack, within each one of those little features. But if it keeps people coming back, it'll be a successful project.
This will be the biggest thing on Wax if they do it all. But yeah, it's a lot. So we've had some projects that still waiting around for Thunderdome. Is that, I can't remember what it was called. Is that what it was? It called Thunderdome? Thunder
Yeah, I think
something.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. I keep bringing that up. It's just a sore spot. But our planet is progressing. We just, like we've been talking about, our planet's now into upgrading land. So we've now gone almost to the end of 8th. We've bought land, and now we're upgrading it. So we're moving along there. But I can't put my finger on a whole lot of other projects that have made all these promises and really done anything yet. Although it's still early, I guess, in the game.
Yeah, it's true. I think come this fall will be like the time where we'll really be able to kind of filter out which projects are successful or not. There's a ton of interesting projects that are in the works, just starting to get launched, just starting to be in beta, just starting to have their staking roll out.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of projects where you can start to earn things in the project. There's just not utility for it. So it's going to be really interesting to see which ones can give enough utility to their token where people want to keep coming back, playing the game. And then, the marketplaces are going to evolve from there.
Yeah. I mean, at least we have a professional game making company behind this one, which is something to be excited about. And they seem to have a lot of cool ideas. As I'm just going down here, we're not hitting all these points, but the free to play earners, the top 100 free to play leaderboard gets specific seasoned NFT rewards. That's cool, great idea. There's clans. It looks like unity makes strength, so team up with other breeders and establish clans. Another great idea. There's monthly leaderboards for better prizes. Very cool, very cool.
Yeah, they're doing, online, I got to give them credit. They do a lot of giveaways. They do a lot of engagement. The developers are always on there talking about the game. And so, any project where they're tight with the community like that is always a great thing. I think you contrast that with something like Our Planet, where they struggled for a little bit, and I love Our Planet. I love playing the game. I've loved it ever since I discovered it. I still like it, I'm still in the game, but they struggled a bit with communication and kind of like getting all the updates out there. And they've gotten a lot better recently, started to do weekly AMAs. But any project where the developers are really close with the community, that's always a good sign.
Yeah. They had some hiccups, but they actually picked it back up, which is pretty impressive. So here's the Spirit card rarities. So they got common, rare, epic, legendary. Again, you get like little bonuses there. So they have obviously frequently asked question. Again, it's, standard stuff, what an NFT is, reader about the game, what can you do with your cards, essentially a lot of stuff you've already seen earlier on in the white paper. They got what is our planet? A little bit too much too much stake in our planet. And that's basically the white paper. Looks good. I'm kind of excited. I'm hopeful. I am cautiously optimistic. Let's say that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm interested enough where, I got the whitelisted sticker. I bought some packs. I'm in the Discord kind of paying attention when they're making announcements. So definitely watching it. I don't think I'm going going to whale in it or anything like that yet. But, we'll see if they start, fulfilling their promises and getting more details about what this aspect of the gameplay is.
So guys, that's Breeder Zone. I'm excited to hear what you have to say, see what you think, and let us know if you have any cool new projects you want us to take a look at. Look for links to be put here soon on Jits Coin auctions, NFTs you can get with Jits Coins, which are free. I'll put the faucet down there, do all the things. Appreciate it. See you next week.